discounted cash flows is one of the most powerful ideas in finance. Basically, if you'll be paid $100 a year for 10 years, what's that worth now? Well, we begin by replacing that with a simpler problem. If we were to be paid $100 next year, how much is that worth today? Well, it depends on the risk-free interest rate. I mean, if the interest rate was 100%, well then $100 next year is worth $50 today. So if we were to be paid $100 a year for 10 years and the risk-free rate is R, then the discounted cash flow, DCF, is given as follows. So we just sum the 10 different values. So the $100 we're going to get next year is 100 divided by 1 plus R. So R is not 100%. In our earlier example, that would be 1. R is equal to 1. 10% means R is equal to 0.1. So the first year, that $100 is 100 divided by 1 plus R. The one I'm going to get in 2 years' time, well, that's 100 divided by 1 plus R squared. 3 years, 100 divided by 1 plus R cubed, and so on until the one that we're going to get in year 10 is worth 100 divided by 1 plus R to the power of 10. So this is just a quick introduction to that idea. It's then reapplied, generalized. So here we have discrete, we get paid once every year, but then you want to extend that to, and there are continuous models, so where you integrate the cash flow as opposed to just adding discrete ones. You can look into this in greater depth on Wikipedia, and we have the link in the description below the video. One thing I just want to finish on is that, you know, we're assuming that the interest rate remains constant, which of course is not going to be the case. So if suddenly the interest rate shoots up, well then the $100 we get in 10 years' time is going to be worth very little. While if interest rates remain very low, or if they fall over that period, it's worth, in relatively speaking, it's worth more than we expected. So it's not perfect, but it is of value. And it is also then extended to all kinds of other asset classes. So for example, if I'm trying to price a share, I can only estimate what the company's earnings are going to be in the future. So compared to having, oh, I know I'm going to get $100 every year, I have to kind of guess that, oh, the earnings for this company is growing. So I think it's going to keep growing at 20% a year for 10 years. Well, that's a kind of optimistic picture. So this is all touched on in this Wikipedia article, and we'll be using this idea when we look at other things. Remember to subscribe to be updated as new content is added.